you have carefully followed all the instructions while crocheting a Nattypat Crochet Pup, you will have an assortment of components just as you have here with this Lizzie the Corgi from the Lizzie and Philly Corgi pattern. As you can see here, we have 2 ears, 4 leg haunches, which will get sewn on top of the 4 legs. You can also see that we have 2 front legs and 2 back legs, which have a different amount of white and tan yarn. And we also have a tail here. So now let's see how we assemble this toy. To attach the ears to Lizzie, you need to take your tapestry needle and thread the yarn through the end here. Now you're going to position it on top of the head so you know where to start, and you're going to insert your needle and go underneath 1 single crochet, coming out the other side in order to begin attaching it. You are then going to put that through the underside of the ear, coming back to the front. Once again, then go down underneath a single crochet on top of the head. Then go through the back of the ear to the front once again. Go through the front of the head here. And then go through the ear once again and back down through the single crochet of the head. So there is 1 ear attached. In order to secure the yarn, you simply want to weave it through a couple of stitches. So here we're going through 2 stitches. Occasionally it can be a little tricky to pull through since the stitches are quite tight, and then go through another couple of stitches. I only like to go through 2 stitches at a time simply because it can get quite difficult to pull the needle through. There we go. Then you can simply put that yarn through the head and pop it out at another side. And then fasten off. So there's 1 ear attached. Now let's prepare the legs. So grab the tail end of the yarn from the top of a leg and thread it into your tapestry needle. Now note that we have already stuffed the legs, so we want to close up the top here. So we're just simply going to sew through both sides in order to sew this shut. Now all we need to do is add the leg haunch. So grab your haunch and you want to stitch through 4 stitches of the haunch on the edge. So we're going through 1, and you just want to sew it to the leg. Go through another stitch. Pull that tight. Go back through the leg. Then through our 4th and final stitch on the haunch. Okay, and then we want to bring this around to the back, and we simply want to weave the ends in so that we can fasten off. Just weave that in and then thread that through the leg, popping it out at a different spot. And then we can trim that off. At the moment, we want to leave this long tail so that we have something to attach it to the body with. Now moving on to the other leg here, we want to make sure that we sew the haunch on so that it is the opposite leg for the other side of the toy. So this one is going to be a right leg since this haunch is facing forward. This is the right side. You can tell by looking at the edge here of the haunch, which has the nice double V shape. The back would not have that. So this is actually the front, this is the rear right leg of Lizzie. Now we want to make this the rear left leg. So we're going to sew the top of the leg shut this way and ensure that we have the front going this way so that we have our both our left and right rear legs here. As you can see, we now have all of the legs ready to attach onto the body. So let's grab one of the legs. We are going to pick up the tail end here, and we're going to thread it through our tapestry needle. Now, to attach this to the body, we want to hold the body up and make sure that we're happy with the positioning of both this leg as well as, say, one of the rear legs. I would recommend that you actually temporarily take a pin and pin it in order to make sure that you're going to be happy with that overall positioning once you actually sew it down. So I have actually decided that I would like this to be up a little bit higher now, just like that, to make sure that it's going to have an even footing so the little guy can stand up. Since I'm not working with this one, let's just remove that pin and put it down to keep it out of the way. So now that I know this is the location where I want to put this, we're simply going to insert the needle underneath one of the single crochet stitches and then come out the other side of the stitch. Pull the needle through, and in order to allow the legs to pivot, we're actually going to keep working through the direct middle of the leg. So let's go through the middle, pull that through the other side. Now sticking close to the middle, we're going to put that back through. As you can see, we're coming out the middle. And then we're going to put it through this same anchor point on the body once again. Just like that. Then we're going to go back and forth another time, going through the middle, just like that. And then we want to simply thread this through some of the stitches here in order to secure it down. Again, I like to just go through a couple of stitches at a time so I don't make it too difficult to pull through. But if it is tough, grab those pliers and pull it through. Okay, and then we're just going to go through a couple more stitches. It's very tough sometimes. You can hear that really not wanting to come through. And then we're just going to put this through the body of the toy, pop it out the other side, pull the needle through, and then we're just going to fasten that off. So there's one leg attached. So we can repeat this process for the 3 other legs now. As you can see, Lizzie now has all 4 legs attached. And since we attached the legs at a single anchor point at the middle of the haunch, they are able to pivot. So you can have her standing, you can have her sitting down, or you can even have her laying down. So now all we have left to do is to attach the tail. So let's grab the yarn end from the tail here, and we're going to thread that through our tapestry needle. And we're going to make sure to check the positioning of the tail. So we want it in the center of the back of the dog. And then we're going to start working through the body of the toy. If you find it hard to pull it through, once again, you can grab the pliers. And then we're going to go through the bottom of the tail, back through the body of the toy, working our way around. This is our last stitch to work around here. Once again, go through the body, pull that through. Oh, looks like we've got a little knot here. Sometimes that happens. Okay, and then once again, we're just going to work the yarn through a couple of stitches here in order to secure it down. So I'm going to grab the pliers just to help me pull it through. There we go. And then we can thread this through the body, pop the needle out somewhere else. And then we can simply cut that off to fasten it off. So there you have it. We have one assembled Nattypat Crochet Pup. Now in this case, we also need to add on the nose and the eyes because I decided to make this for a young child and didn't want the choking hazard of the plastic eyes and plastic nose that are specified in this particular pattern. So you can join me in another video for finishing techniques in order to look at embroidery.